So, okay, I guess we can start. We have, we can see 15 participants listed on 17. So, okay, maybe give a little more seconds and we can start. So June, is that the right number, 17?
Correct.
Okay.
22 actually. 23, 22. So 18, so 19. So hi Leo, you're off. Okay.
Okay, take two.
Okay.
So now we have 20
Okay. Can we
attendees.
start?
So I guess we can start.
Okay.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Aloha and welcome to the first Hemp Task Force meeting that's jointly convened by Department of Agriculture and Department of Health. I am Leo Obaldo, Administrator of the Quality Assurance Division of the Department of Agriculture, and I will be serving as your moderator for this meeting. Um, just to keep everybody on the same page, Act 263 of 2023 created Hemp Task Force and assigned responsibilities to Department of Agriculture and Department of Health to convene this task force. And then part of this mandate is basically to hire a consultant to help address the needs of hemp producers and recommend infrastructure improvements for the hemp industry. So this report basically consists of all your input as island and sector representative, which will be submitted later part of the year to fiscal year 2025 legislature. So the slide that you see, I hope everybody sees this slide. This is the agenda that we have for today. And we will start this meeting by introducing the task force organizers and facilitators, which will be followed by a presentation of the objectives, task force members' responsibilities, next steps, upcoming meetings. And then there will be sub-introductions by task force consultant, producers, and sector representatives who would eventually be working together to come up with all to understand the needs and come up with a recommendation which will be packaged in the report. So I would also caution all participants to limit self-introductions to a maximum of 60 seconds. This is to allow time for question and answers later, part of this presentation or meeting. So first, I would like to introduce the task force organizers and facilitators. Representing the Department of Agriculture, myself, Leo Baldo, and then June Tulio, who is our program specialist, hemp program specialist. And then our colleagues from Department of Health is represented by Liam Kimon, Greg Edwards, Lauren Agatoshi. And if I could ask Liam to say a few words regarding cannabinoid, I appreciate it.
Great. Thanks, June. Thanks for having us here. And a great job putting this all together and getting everybody in the same room, in quotation marks. But yeah, thank you for the hard work getting this going. I appreciate being asked to be a part of this task force, and just want to remind everybody that this task force is not for us. This task force is for the hemp growers and processors. We are here as a resource. We're here to answer questions and to answer anything that you have about what we do, what we handle. Department of Health does handle cannabinoid hemp products, manufactured hemp products, and hemp processors that are making cannabinoid hemp products. I do want to say, though, the Department of Health feels strongly that those involved in this call and in this task force, we feel that they should be active members of the hemp community. And by that, I mean that they need to be properly licensed or permitted. If you're a grower, you should be have a USDA license for it. If you're processing hemp materials, you should cannabinoid hemp materials, you should have a permit through the Department of Health. I understand industrial hemp producers, manufacturers, processors don't need that, but I do feel strongly that those people who are not properly permitted and processing hemp materials should be permitted to be a part of this community. Other than that, I welcome our open dialogue. And as I said, we're here to assist by answering questions and being a resource for everybody here. And I really want to thank my team, Lloyd Nagatoshi and Greg Edwards, who you all know, who have been part of the hemp process for several years. Thanks.
All right, thank you, Liam. So I will now call on June Tulio to proceed with the task force presentation.
So good morning, good afternoon, everyone. So I think you understand already why we are here. It's because of Act 263 that Leo mentioned earlier. So this is, I think, the labor of work from the hemp industry, and it was passed last year as the HB 1359 into Act 263. So this is the reason why we are here today. So the task force under Act 263 is formed to gather data and information from you, the farmers, the hemp growers, and the hemp industry leaders, to come up with industry needs, in particular in your island. So this task force shall develop an outline of hemp farmer and industry needs and inform public policy concerning the development of a hemp industry in the state that also supports rural agricultural development in Hawaii. So the second objective is to, the task force shall work with the third-party consultant. So it means she will help the task force to identify what you need in your island. Then this task force is not limited to what we can do. So we can request information from other industry sources. So, for example, in other states who are, leaders themselves in the hemp community, those hemp economists, regulators in other states, retailers, farmers, and hemp industry groups outside of Hawaii. Then lastly, the ultimate goal of this task force is to come up with a hemp task force report, which is due on August 30, 2024. So this report will be based on the collective input from you, the farmers, from each island, and the sectoral reps, and be documented with the help of our health consultant. So next, who are the members for this task force? So according to Act 263, so the members shall be the hemp producers from each island, proportionate to the number of USDA licenses issued in the state of Hawaii. Then another, we have also a representative from each of the following sectors: the fuel, building, general fiber, cannabinoid, and grain food industries. So I would like to point out that this work is purely voluntary. Members will not be compensated for the services rendered to the task force. So there will be no travel required from you also. So however, your name and business name will be on the report. Then this is the active list of the USDA producer license issued for Hawaii. In December 2023, there were 89 licensed farmers. However, as you see, there's only 54 as of yesterday. So, and the breakdown for Hawaii, Oahu, Maui, Kauai, and Molokai are shown there. Then the percentage, and also on the rightmost corner, we have the task force. So when the Act 263 said it's proportionate to the total numbers, so Hawaii should be represented by 9 active members, 7 for Oahu, 4 for Maui, 1 each for Kauai and Molokai. So as of now, as of today, we received 3 volunteers from Hawaii, 5 from Oahu, 2 from Maui, and 1 each from Kauai and Molokai. Then for the sector reps, so we have 5 sectors, right? The fuel, the building, the general fiber, the cannabinoid, and the grain and food. So the island producers elected also in the survey that I sent out for you to fill out. So almost 25 elected to join the sectoral reps. So, and there's also other external industry leaders who also volunteered to be part of the fuel and the building sectors. So for cannabinoid, most of you indicated your willingness to represent the sector. However, DOH would like you to have the license from them, the processor license, and also the USDA producer license to be our sectoral rep for cannabinoid. Then for us at HDOA and DOH, we are tasked under Act 263 to gather this Hawaii Hemp Task Force today. So our role includes, aside from convening this task force, is to organize meetings, facilitate the meetings, and succeeding meetings, and provide guidance and support to our hemp consultant, to the island members, and to the sectoral representatives. Then Our role is also to make sure that the report from the hemp consultant that we hired to help the task force is submitted and presented by July 1st. Then lastly, our role is to ensure that the report is completed by August 30, 2024. This report is the task force report that we'll be submitting to the legislature. So this report also is a body of work from you, the members, the individual island members, the sectoral representatives, and documented by our health consultant. Then for our hemp consultant, so we hired her according to 263 to work with you and the sectoral reps to gather data and information, as well as your recommendation for your infrastructure needs in your island. So again, this data will be documented by our consultant, and then they will also solicit or gather information from external sources if you, to answer if you may have some questions regarding the hemp in your area or in the hemp industry in general. Then at the end of July 1st, as I mentioned earlier, the consultant is tasked to present this report to us. Next, our responsibilities for you as a member of the task force and for the sectoral reps. So aside from you representing your own farms or your own sectors, so you will be gathering and collecting data from other hemp growers in your islands. Then same thing with the sectoral reps, those in your sectors. So you will be gathering information to support the needs of that particular island where you belong. So this includes the survey that we sent you out. So, and I would like to, most of you already filled out the forms and sent it back to us. And I would like to thank you for that. So for those, for the rest of our hemp members who have not yet submitted, please do so later. Okay, thank you again. So next, the data that you collected from your peers will be given to our hemp consultant. So I am requesting you to give permission to me to share your contact information to our help consultant. If you have an issue with that, please contact me. Then most of your work will be done through email and phone, so you will not do traveling here, and there will be only online meetings. So again, you will not be compensated for your work. So it's like a pro bono work for your hemp farms and the hemp industry in general. So again, after this meeting, what are we plan to do? So from tomorrow until June 30th, so our health consultant will reach out to each of you, the island USDA producers, the sector reps who volunteered, and also from other external sources, those who or leaders in the hemp industry here or in the mainland. So she will be contacting you by phone or by email. Those are the contact information that you provided me. And if you have problem with that, let me know. Then on June 7, so we'll give you more time to, because this is for the hemp consultant to reach you out. So we are setting up a second meeting on June 7 for updates or anything that you, the members, would like to put in the agenda. Then on July 1st, the hemp consultant again will present the report, and in August 30, the final task force report will be also completed, and we will disband the task force by then. So the HDOA and HDOH would like to emphasize that the final task force report will be a collaborative effort from the hemp industry. So it will not serve, as any findings or recommendations that you will be putting there, that will not serve as an endorsement from the two agencies. So thank you for that. So for the next, we will be giving you a chance to introduce yourself. So first, we will call on our the hemp consultant. So this Bio Bamboo Incorporated, DVA Food Security Hawaii, led by Charlotte O'Brien, is the one we selected to help the hemp task force to come up with suggestions and recommendations from each of the mentioned islands, in terms of your infrastructure needs, during processing or harvesting of your hemp materials. So, Charlotte?
Thank you, June. Can you hear me?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So we're mostly here to hear what it is that you, the members of the task force, want us to look into. We've been primarily focusing on industrial hemp, and that is quite a different beast than cannabinoid hemp. But that has been our focus, as we see it as a potential crop to replace both sugar and pineapple in the entire state of Hawaii, rather than just a few small farmers growing cannabinoids. So, yeah, anything that you would like us to look into, please let us know.
So again, Charlotte will be the one who will be reaching out to you, and she will be doing that. Actually, she's been doing a lot of great work already for us, for the hemp task force. And I hope you will also extend your support to her when she comes in contact with you to to collect data from you and your peers in each island. Thank you, Charlotte. So we'll move on to the members from Hawaii Island. So we have Gloria, we have Brittany, and we have Rusty. So Gloria, are you on the line?
Yes, I am.
Can you please,
Yes.
share something about you? And this is your.
Yes. I am a small producer. I have 20 acres of licensed hemp, but we have not yet produced because of inclement weather and a lot of mold findings. So we're still in the research process. I am also a educational consultant, and so I wear many hats as far as education goes. And so my interest in the hemp production is quite, it's for the future growth and economy of the Big Island.
Thank you, Gloria. So, Brittany, Brit, are you there? Or Rusty?
Yes, I'm here.
Go ahead, Rusty.
Hi, my name is Rusty Tapp, and Kama'aina Ventures, a small farm focused on micro production and R&D. We're plant scientists. My wife is a faculty member at UH Hilo in the ag department. we are aiming at cannabinoids, but also at generally a plant improvement, plant breeding focus. And we are USDA licensed producer, farm registered with the FSA. We legally imported some cannabinoid-rich hemp varietals that have tested compliant on a couple after a couple seasons. We've seen them remain compliant. So we offer compliant hemp plants, live hemp plants, to support the growing of this industry. And we are in the process of building a facility, which we achieved a hemp processor's license for. We're in the construction phase. Planning is completed. A permit is prepared to be issued, ready to be issued. And we have some concerns about the regulations now about processing hemp that have caused some pause in our plans. So I'm looking forward to resolving or working with this group to help inform the policy that would allow us to process hemp and sell hemp-based products into our local market. Yep, and well, I'm here to help. If there's anything I can do, I'm happy to help.
Thank you, Rashi, for volunteering. So we'll go on to the next island. So here in Oahu, so we have the Kyle, we have King. Kingley is out, is on travel right now, but we have people under his project who will be speaking in his behalf. Also, we have Michelle and Grant, and we have Scott. So, Kyle, could you please introduce yourself to us, the members? Kyle. So we'll go back to Kyle if she's not here. So Michelle, so are you online? So what about, I see Grant. Grant? Oh, Michelle. Okay, I'll just.
Hello.
Okay,
Hello?
go ahead, Michelle.
No, it's Michele. My name is pronounced Michele, not Michelle.
Michelle, I'm sorry.
No, it's Michele.
Michelle.
No, Michele. It's Michael it's my first name is Italian for
I'm
Michael. But it's spelled like that. It's spelled Michele and it's pronounced Michele. But anyway, we have about 18 acres of land that we used to grow in the past, and now we reorganized under a new company called Kulele LLC, and we are intending to grow for cannabinoids, and we are in the process of having this company registered with the Department of Health. We used to have another company registered with the Department of Health for processing.
Okay, thank you, and my apologies for mispronouncing your name. Then we have Grant. Grant,
You guys hear me all right?
good, yes.
All right, thanks. Grant Overton from Agripelago. We work on industrial hemp originally for biofuel and human food, so purely plant-based protein. We have largely looked at anaerobic digestion for carbon negative renewable natural gas production. We've worked with CTAR and a variety of other collaborators, including publicly traded energy companies. As of this January, we're skeptical if hemp is something we can actually utilize, despite spending the last 8 years in the state working on it. So there's a lot of regulatory uncertainty, and certainly our objective is to clarify that so we can enhance the investment potential for it in the state. As of now, all banking contacts we have say the current regulatory uncertainty is very problematic. So look forward to collaborating as helpful for this task force. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have Scott.
Yeah, hi, Scotty Wong here, Ohanahui Ventures. We have a 400-acre farm up in Wahiwa, and we work with a number of other farmers, hemp farmers in not only the island, but in the state. And it's good to see Michele here, Michele with a K sound in there, June. And, we like to collaborate with all the other farmers because we have to do this cooperatively. And what we are doing here is we're actually, our current grow right now is a seed crop grow to be able to produce a new strain, a new genetics of hemp seed so that we can sell it throughout the islands and also to the continent in America. And then we're also, whatever's left over is our fiber. And, we're looking at all avenues, fuel, fiber for food, and especially hempcrete. So in 2018 or 2019, we had our first, and I think it's the only hemp summit that we did at the Hawaii Convention Center with my partner, Scotty Reese Moniz, to bring about all of the other hemp farmers at the time. And pretty much 90% were cannabinoids and few were hemp fiber, but I see that the tide is changing. And also the reason why we were looking at fiber was because we have a nonprofit, Friends of Waimanalo, which focuses on workforce development for building and trades. And what we wanted to do was to push import substitution of woods and whatever it needs for our building materials and food. And the last thing I'm going to say is we're also partnered up with our CCSU consortium, which is a carbon sequestering organization. And basically, last year we had a special purpose revenue bond for $40 million passed by legislation specifically for sequestering carbon. And the biggest part of it was industrial hemp, to use industrial hemp to not only sequester carbon, but to improve soil health by soil remediation using industrial hemp from planting all the way to creating biochar. So we're pretty wide on our array, but we're here to help in however we can. And we're currently in application with the ADC for 1,000 acres on Kauai to grow more hemp and food and fiber and fuel. And that's it for me, Scotty Wong.
Thank you. I think Kyle is still here. Kyle?
Hi guys, my name is Kyle Young. I am a small hemp farmer on the island of Oahu. My backgrounds come from testing cannabis for the dispensaries here in Hawaii. I was part of the Steep Hill Hawaii laboratory when we first developed. So testing is one of my specialties and product development for cannabinoids. I'm also interested in growing hemp for fiber and looking into that industry as a possible substitute like the other fiber growers in the chat for substitutes for woods and other construction materials in Hawaii. I'm here to help in any way possible. Currently, my main venture is to make cannabinoid products, but right now I've also been halted to production due to the type of products I am regulated on through the Department of Health, I believe, for processing. And I'm here to help in any way possible to help get this system ready for Hawaii and help our economy out here.
Thank you, Kyle. So we'll go on to Maui. So we have Robert Benz and Dr. Janine. So, Bob.
This is Robert Benz, Hawaii Sustainable Farms. I'm certified organic and USDA licensed. I guess that I need to get the DOH license to get the cannabinoid, but I heard there was the $800 fine, I guess, or fee to sign up. But family farm in your Kula. So growing hemp has saved my life. I had a birth defect that it helps with the medicinal side of the cannabinoids. The building, it's the best building material, best fuel, and there's so many other sectors like microgreens and the advanced materials. Very interested in all sectors. Been studying hemp for over a decade, and when I was in the hospital, I was writing support back when Scott was still the DOA, and it's good to be diversified, and the regulations, as Grant mentioned earlier, and we had this law, and then just this term with the problems with that law, and I know that there's other Maui producers, and hopefully Gail is also on this for the Big Island, but pretty much very diversified and willing to make this kind of main priority of the farm. So any help I can provide the task force and the task force consultants, very happy to be involved.
Thank you. So Janine.
Hi, everyone. I'm Janine Holstein. I have a 24-acre property in Kula. Our focus is plant medicinals overall, specializing in wild cultivated, what people might call weeds or invasive species. We really do a lot of research to see what plants provide nutritional and medicinal value. And so for us, hemp is just another one of those. And so we're licensed. We were one of the early licensed when it was a hemp research pilot program with you guys, with Shelley Choi. And we've maintained our licensure and have been licensed for processing for a few years and converted over to the new permit as required. Yeah, so we're just small mom and pop, pretty much.
Thank you. So we'll move on to Kauai and to Molokai. So we have one rep each. So it's Jediah McRoberts and also Lily Napoleon. So please go ahead.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, can
Perfect.
hear you.
Great. My name is Jediah McRoberts. I am the president of Kauai Hemp Company. We are a 10-acre certified organic hemp farm, as well as cannabinoid processing and manufacturing facility. Our main focus over the past 4 or 5 years, besides producing our own cannabinoid product line, is helping other hemp farmers through toll processing services, as well as other small businesses produce their own cannabinoid lines through our private labeling. Excited to be here and give our experience and knowledge through our process and some of the stalwarts that we've gone through, and hopefully provide some insight so we can make some suggestions for the upcoming legislative session to move the whole hemp industry forward.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. Can you folks hear me?
Yes, yes.
Right. Okay, awesome. So yeah, Lily here from Molokai. In regards to, you know, our inception into the hemp industry, a lot of it was conceptualized in the thought process on many different factors, you know, that being the agricultural kind of movement on the island, things such as wood. I did hear people talk about trade and different types of materials to build in specific to, you know, Hawaiian homelands. And then, of course, your medicinal purposes as well. So for us, you know, initially infrastructure has been one of the biggest hurdles and challenges, in addition to the access to water, regarding the location where we aspire to, you know, really have a full-fledged operation. So really working through those different pipelines and figuring out what's going to be feasible, of course, and viable for a remote island like Molokai, and the factor of the processing of everything, right? So having the raw product is one thing, but getting it to the point where it becomes usable wood, you know, it becomes a medicinal that one can ingest. That portion there, also another area of very little to any infrastructure on the island. So that would be a export, which is a very costly factor when we start to look at the exporting. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm really thankful, you know, to be in this space, to be able to help how I can to move the dial along. But I would say definitely for the remote islands, we could really use some, you know, assistance in the infrastructure, and then just kind of figuring out what templates would be best for a remote island like Molokai. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. So we'll go to our sector reps. So we have Gail, Bob, and Kelly. And then we have Joe, we have Jared also, I think, on the line, and Rob. We have Charlene and Greg and Jerry. So Gail?
Yeah, aloha. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, I should also put CBD down there. That's primarily what our farm is focused on. But aloha, Gail Byrne-Baber here. Really happy to see the task force convene. Thank you, Department of Health and Department of Ag. You know, especially Greg Edwards has been around the block a long time with this. You know, just as an aside, and we can share this with the consultant, DOA did everything they could to move as quickly as they can. The intention was that this task force would run for 8 months. You know, running for a month to gain consensus among all the islands and identify needs is a really fast turnaround time. So I'm glad we're doing something, but the depth of what needs to be done, I don't think can be addressed in a month, but we'll all give it our best shot. So I think one of the things the report needs to address is the fact that, you know, time was cut short. We need to continue this conversation, because part of this was to have a longer conversation with DOH and DOA, not only about infrastructure needs, but legislative stuff, because this last year is another example of how hemp farmers just spent months and months banging their heads against the wall for nothing. So, and then the task force, I mean, ideally could go on informally, in addition to the Hawaii Hemp Farmers Association, is a platform for us to have better conversations outside of the legislative session. You know, under the leadership of Chair Hurd, she's been super available to us, and we're really grateful for that. But there's so much that has to be done, and so many nuances in this industry within the many sectors, that it requires ongoing conversation within the industry and also within the regulatory bodies. Because as a former regulator, I can't even imagine how difficult it is to get, you know, your hands around this. But to be able to make sure that we make this functioning in the future, and because quite honestly, I think those of us who've been in this industry from the start will tell you it's been completely dysfunctional, just requires a lot more communication and understanding, again, outside the legislative session. So, and again, I also want to say, this is not saying anything directly to Department of Ag or Department of Health, because you guys are underfunded and over mandated. So I'm just expressing kind of a viewpoint of the Hawaii, probably the Hawaii Hemp Farmers Association, but certainly my own. So my husband and I have a 20-acre farm on the North Shore, Big Island, near Hawaii, really great growing area with opportunity to lease another 400 if we can ever get the investment to do more in fiber, which seems to have fallen through year after year, which Grant alluded to on Oahu, a great deal having to do with regulatory flux, for sure. It's really wonderful to see how far things have come in some ways, but slow compared to where they could have gone. You know, my husband's been farming here for 40 years and co-founded the Hawaii Hemp the Hawaii Hemp Council in 1990, I think it was. So what is that, 34 years ago. So Hawaii's got a really long and profound history with hemp. I'm not talking about marijuana, just specifically with hemp. There were a lot of visionary folks back in the day speaking to what I think a couple of other people just mentioned, the opportunity to transition some of our larger agricultural lands into a crop that makes a lot of sense. The last thing I'll say, besides thank you and mahalo to everyone for being here, is I don't know how we're going to jam this again all into a month, but I know for a fact, since the Hawaii Hemp Farmers Association wrote the bills that ended up in this act, and I just went back and reviewed Act 263, just to make sure I had my facts straight, that one of the outcomes for this report was very specific economic information. So when we say we need this type of processor for this, we want to have makes and models and costs associated with that and schematics with processing example, not general schematics that we can Google online right now, but stuff specific to Hawaii, so that we can then take that very detailed information and then go get some private public partnerships in some of the sectors to build this. So and I'm really looking forward to getting to know the consultants more. What we don't want is an iteration back to us of exactly what we said on the survey forms. We'd really like to have someone to jump in and do the analysis that's required on the infrastructure and find out what some of the state of the art stuff is. Some of us involved in this task force know, others don't. And we have some resources and experts we can hopefully hook you up with on the mainland. And it sounds like they've already begun that work. But just to be clear that that was the intent of the bill, to walk away with very specific economic information or pricing information for infrastructure that's actionable. So thanks. I know I took a long time to introduce myself. And again, thank you so much for getting us going. Aloha.
Thank you, Gail. Then we have Kelly. I think I saw her earlier. Not Joe. Yes, Jared, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jared Delgamuni. I know many of the people on this task force. I'm born and raised here in Hawaii. We're a cannabinoid product manufacturer, and we're the brand owner of Rare Cannabinoid Company and Hawaiian Choice. We've been around since 2017. As with some of the people on this list, I'm on the board of the Hawaii Hemp Farmers Association. As a company, we do a lot of educating of medical professionals. In fact, I have our director of education, Rob Bramlett, in this meeting, who's going to speak next. We have an interest in promoting a safe, stable, regulated retail market for wellness products here in Hawaii, as well as bringing CGMP cannabinoid manufacturing to Hawaii. There's a shortage of extraction and tolling capacity here in the state to remediate extracts. And so at the moment, we're forced to buy raw cannabinoid extracts from farmers on Maui, which we then have to have sent over to Oregon to get remediated, and then onward on the mainland for final product production in the correct types of facilities. Regulatory uncertainty has meant that we aren't aware of any CGMP co-manufacturers here in Hawaii. And so we want to support the design of regulations to see the infrastructure developed here in Hawaii, which would suit the DOH requirements. I'd like to see this infrastructure developed, and I'm here to provide industry expertise. And we have a lot of insight into what's going on in the mainland that we can offer to support this process. So I'm here to help.
Thank you. So,
hello. Oh, my name is
okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead, Rob.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
My name is Rob Bramlett. I'm the Director of Education for HC Ventures Hawaiian Choice CBD and Rare Cannabinoid Company. Jared sort of went over what we do. I spend a good portion of my day educating medical professionals in the mainland about what these emerging studies mean, what their laws mean in their state, what they're allowed to do. The truth is, if you went to med school more than 6 to 8 years ago, all they did when talking about cannabis as medicine was say, don't really mess with it because it'll, mess with your malpractice. So I spend a lot of my days talking to doctors in other states, acupuncturists, chiropractors, medical professionals, and helping them understand and navigate this to try to stay on the right side of things. Thank you guys so much for inviting us. And I really appreciate Liam, Greg, and Lori and all the hard work they're doing at the DOH. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to get back to me.
Yes.
Okay, so my name is Joe Smith, and we have Hemp Home Hawaii. So we have been building with Hempcrete, purchasing our herd from the mainland in Kansas. And I don't see anybody who said anything about herd. They all said fiber. And so the real hemp building material is the herd. And I assume that, you get the herd with the fiber. And I don't know if we have anybody on island who's growing industrial hemp for building materials, for the fiber and the herd. And so I got connected to this through Shar and Megan, who you had on already over here on Maui. I guess they're working with you, Jun. Thank you very much for inviting me. And so I think that I don't know in what capacity I can contribute to this task force, except to be how we can get some farmers to grow the hemp required to use as a building material. So I'm willing to talk to anybody out there, any farmers available. We are looking, we have heard that there might be some people coming here that might start a facility to decorticate and the whole process of everything they can do with the equipment they have. So hopefully we can find some farmers with lands who will grow this. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe. Go ahead, Char.
Oh, aloha, everyone. Charlene Matilla here, Pacific Industrial Hemp Alliance. I'm currently located on the island of Maui, working in construction, rebuild, and restoration projects throughout the island. I started this journey quite a while ago, back in 2018. Currently, we are working with CTAR, the University of Hawaii, at Waimanalo Research Station, and we will be growing trials later this fall for seed production, focused on herd for construction, as well as SAF, sustainable aviation fuels, and grain for food. Currently, we have 1,000 acres in the Pacific Northwest where we'll be growing our first, actually seeds are in the ground right now, our first round. We have a biorefinery there that we are running tests in to basically create the template for Hawaii and across the state so we can scale those processing and refine each step in the process to bring them to each island to a scale that fits those markets. So that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have Greg or Gail. If not, Jari. I think Jari is.
Yes. Aloha, everybody. My name is Jari Sugana. I'm with the University of Hawaii College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources. Currently, I serve as Oahu County Administrator, and we oversee the Waimanalo Research Station, Waile'e Livestock Research Station, Homoho Research Station, and the Urban Garden Center. Working in conjunction with Dr. Lee and Shar of Piho, Hawaii. Dr. Lee's lab was processed many of the initial field trials at the Waimanalo Research Station. And we're working with Dr. Lee and Piha on our new application to the USDA, looking at new varieties, as well as evaluating these varieties for different types of building materials. So our role here is largely to support research, new findings, and education. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I think we have Ray Maki. Hey, Ray.
Hello. Yep. Can you hear me?
Okay. Yes.
Hi.
Go ahead, Ray.
Ray Maki here. Hawaii Nexus is my hemp company. I was the second recipient of the state license back in the day, and original founder of the Hawaii Hemp Hemp Farmers Association. I guess in some ways I don't really have standing in the meeting, but because I've surrendered my USDA permit, I'm basically out of the hemp game, but I do have a lot of insights into what's being discussed here. Sorry, I just got off my tractor here. I'm a little out of air, but I think a big part of this question, like over the time, the 4 years that I was licensed, I grew probably 12 acres of hemp in every season for cannabinoid production. And I guess my personal realization was that, it's really, until we have improved genetics for the state, this is not a 4-season crop. And I hear a lot of talk about fiber, being an important future of the industry. I believe it is too. I do wonder about I really think it comes down to genetics, everyone. And I also have a personal issue with, how the state has just mismanaged this, even to the current day. And so I'm not here to whine or cry about that, but until we have the legislative and regulatory environment that Grant was explaining, my business is over with. We missed the opportunity and to really participate at a time when the industry was profitable. And I think that genetics will be the first hurdle. I'm sure there's a lot of testing going on, but at the scale that this crop can be proven as a day neutral genetics and also have the mildew resistance that's necessary for the concentrated growing environment that we were knocked down. Whole acres of hemp were knocked down with 30-mile-an-hour gusts. So wind is another factor we have to think about at scale. I could go on, but I'm encouraged that the task force is up and running. It's been a long time in coming for the regulatory agencies, and nothing against anybody who we've talked to and worked with over the years. I know that they're good people working hard, but hamstrung really at the executive and legislative level to really implement an industry that's already proven itself on the mainland, and why Hawaii couldn't model itself after its sister states instead of the most repressive regulatory environments in the country. We'll never know. So I'm not trying to be a downer. I'm really encouraged that the task force is up and running. But I think the key factors moving forward is going to be proving this crop at the scale that's being described. And if all we're going to do is try to duplicate a natural environment like North Dakota, where this crop really wants to be, handling and processing of this crop after the time of legal compliant harvest was one of the biggest problems that we had, was just maintaining post-harvest quality of drying and, maintaining humidity control in a crop that, the minute it's out of the ground is declining, day by day. So that's my 2 cents, everyone. And I'm really glad that everyone here is on the call. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ray. I might have missed anyone. Could you please raise your hands? We're running out of time for a question and answer portion. But if you have any questions, we can, we can do it offline. You can send me your contact. So is there anyone that I missed out from the members?
June, I see a raise hand on Charlotte, so let's give
Charlotte,
maybe
go
a few
ahead.
seconds for Charlotte.
Yeah, I wanted to introduce Megan. We're working on this together. She's the other consultant. So I think, Megan, could you speak?
Hello, everyone. It's great to get this group together. My background, I worked in the hemp industry for several years. I co-founded a media platform that educated about all the different uses of the hemp plant called Seven Space. And super passionate about the plant, really excited about hempcrete and what it can potentially do for our community here, especially here on Maui with the rebuilding process. But we're just looking forward to hearing what you guys want and what you guys need, because we agree with you. We need to get legislation in place. We need to make it easier for everybody to farm hemp and to start their businesses or keep moving their businesses. So I'm looking forward to working with you guys. Thank you.
Well, I guess that's going to be the last speaker, and I would like to thank you all for your participation and willingness to contribute to the task force. I know we're 2 minutes over time, but I would encourage everyone to continue the conversation and work with our hemp consultant, Charlotte and Megan, and hopefully we will have a chance to see progress sometime on our next meeting on June 7th. So with that, I would like to conclude this meeting, and please stay in touch. Aloha.